Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll talk about what happens if you would never update your graphics card drivers. Let's head into it. Updating drivers. Drivers can be perplexing, and while we've discussed from briefly before, there are a few things everyone should know about managing your drivers and when to update them. Here's the essential information before you start stressing over up-to-date drivers. Keep in mind that, while we always encourage keeping your software updated for security and stability, drivers are a different story. While you should keep an eye out for any security updates that appear, changing driver versions can present stability issues. So if your hardware is functioning normally, you're better off not updating, because you never know when it can cause problems. You won't normally get significant speed or feature improvements from a driver update, so unless you see something significant in the release notes, you're usually fine to ignore it. Instead, only update your drivers if you're experiencing hardware issues. Assume your Ethernet connection stops from time to time, or your printer isn't printing properly. One of the first troubleshooting measures you should take in this instance is to upgrade your driver, since these difficulties may be resolved with a new update. Video drivers are the main exception to this rule. Unlike other drivers, video drivers are frequently updated and usually with significant performance improvements, especially in new games. Heck, a recent nvidia update enhanced its Skyrim performance by 45%, and the driver that followed increased it by another 20%. There's a significant advantage if you're a Skyrim gamer. So if your video card has a new driver available, check to see what benefits it gives, whether it offers system-wide performance increases or improvements in a game you're presently playing. You should absolutely update. If it doesn't, continue to use the current driver.
A little notification from the nvidia driver popped up saying that there was updates available.
Where to get your drivers. So you need to install or update a driver, but you usually have a few options for where to get it. When you initially connect the device, Windows will frequently install its own generic version of the driver, and your device will gain basic functionality immediately. This is good for certain things, but you'll often find that downloading the driver from the manufacturer's website provides you with a lot of extra functionality. Sound drivers may include capabilities, such as virtual surround or room correction, whereas video drivers typically provide a full control panel of choices that allow you to modify your graphics performance. Features such as nvidia's PhysX and more. In general, there are 3 distinct locations where you can discover drivers, and here's how they differ. From the website of the chipset manufacturer, this is usually the first area you'll want to look. The firm that designed the original video or sound chip, such as nvidia or Realtek, is the chipset manufacturer. These companies frequently have access to the most recent drivers before anyone else. Some drivers will have additional features, but others will merely provide the most recent generic drivers.
When you're shopping for a GPU, you'll be choosing between 2 manufacturers, nvidia and AMD.
From the website of the hardware manufacturer, if you encounter issues with no chipset manufacturer's drivers, or if they just provide generic drivers with no extra functionality, your next port of call should be the hardware manufacturer. This is the person or company that created the real hardware, such as EVGA or XFX for video cards and Gigabyte or MSI for motherboards. If you have a laptop, you should go to the website of the manufacturer, such as Asus or Lenovo. Using Windows directly, Windows generic drivers are typically the very minimum of what is required for something to function. It's not ideal for most things, but in other circumstances such as printers, it's exactly what you need. If you go to your printer's website, all you'll find is a driver and a lot of software that may or may not include other capabilities you'll utilize. Regular printing and scanning are already built into Windows, so you don't need photo editors, cloud services, or other bloatware on your laptop. So instead of obtaining drivers from the manufacturer, simply obtain them directly from Windows, as stated below. From the CD that came with your device, this is something you'll nearly never want to do. These drivers are likely to be out of date by the time you get the computer up and running, so you should get them from one of the above sites instead. The sole exception is Ethernet drivers, which must be installed if Windows doesn't provide them. Obviously, if you start your computer and are unable to connect to the internet, you will be unable to download drivers. Install the Ethernet drivers from the CD, connect to the internet, and download all of your other drivers from the internet. How to update your drivers. When it comes to updating, the procedure is pretty straightforward. Simply launch Device Management and right-click on the hardware to be updated. Navigate to the Driver tab by clicking Properties. Your current driver version may be found there. If you're using Windows to update, click Update Driver to do so. If this is not the case, check the driver's version number and visit the manufacturer's website. If their driver is newer than yours, an update is available, and you can learn more about it if necessary. Then simply download the installer from there and execute it just like any other program. When you're finished, you should have gleaming new drivers at your disposal to help you get the most out of your gear.
And now you should see your graphics card. You're going to right click and then select Update Drivers.
What do you think about graphics card drivers? Have you updated yours recently? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.